So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with some strange things that no one was ever really able to explain. Now, this one comes from a diver, right? On a deep sea oil rig. The title of the video, this diver revealed the truth about what they encountered while working on this deep sea oil rig. Now, when it comes to divers, people out there on them oil rigs, man, I know they see some stuff that, man, some of them probably kept to themselves because they was probably too afraid to tell people. And some stuff they told people, but no one probably believed them or taken them serious. But I bet they've seen some things, seriously. All right, so we're going to get into this video, man. So if you're new, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, join the family. Let's see if we can figure this thing out. Let's check it out. If I can get it to play. Here we go. It's like, what in the world going on?
Despite centuries of exploration and scientific research, much of the world's oceans remain unexplored, and we have only scratched the surface of our understanding of this vast, mysterious realm. It is estimated that we have explored less than 20% of the world's oceans, with much of the remaining 80% still largely uncharted and unknown. This is due in part to the sheer size and depth of the oceans, as well as the challenges involved in studying them. The deep sea, for example, is an especially difficult environment to explore, with crushing pressures, extreme temperatures, and complete darkness. In recent years, advances in technology and oceanographic research have enabled scientists to explore previously inaccessible parts of the ocean.
And we just talked about that in the previous video. Go check that video out too. We just talked about a few things that they're working on and things we've sent down before that have been met with different hurdles that it's had to overcome. They've had to overcome, like the pressure, the extreme pressure at those depths. So check that video out too.
Research have enabled scientists to explore previously inaccessible parts of the ocean, such as the deep sea vents, and uncover new species and ecosystems that were previously unknown to us. However, much of the ocean remains unexplored, and there is still much to learn about the role of the ocean in regulating the Earth's climate and supporting life on our planet. It's also true that we have mapped more of the moon's surface than we have of our own oceans. This is partly due to the fact that the moon is much closer to Earth than the deep ocean and is therefore more accessible to exploration and mapping. In contrast, much of the world's oceans remain largely uncharted and unknown, with only a small fraction of the ocean floor having been mapped in detail. This is due in part to the challenges of exploring the deep ocean, which is a hostile and difficult environment to study. Interestingly, in recent years, divers and fishermen have come forward and detailed their strange experiences while being in and around the world's oceans. One diver posted the following story to social media. He said the following: "I worked with a guy who used to be a deep sea welder. He also worked on various things in the ocean, such as rigs, which would require him to dive deep beneath the ocean."
First of all, I didn't even know they did that. Excuse me for my ignorance, but I didn't even know that they dived down like that and did that like that way. I always thought it was maybe some type of vehicle they rode down in, and I don't know, man. I thought they were, but imagine being a diver and going down there working on it and ever so often having to make sure you look around to see if something's trying to swim up on you, sneak up on you. It's dark. Yeah, I know they make great money because you got to pay a lot to get somebody to do that.
Things in the ocean, such as rigs, which would require him to dive deep beneath the ocean. He got talking one day as we shared a lot of things in common, and he told me about some of the strange things that we witnessed while carrying out jobs in the ocean. Due to the years of experience that he had, he told me that he could easily identify wildlife and said that he would often encounter things like deep sea fish, sharks, along with various squid species. He said that saturation diving pays well, but it's a job that carries its risks, and that this encounter made him think twice about re-entering the water.
I bet.
He said that on this one occasion, he and a team was called out to a big job, which saw him and the team assembling and maintaining an oil rig and pipelines. While he was down there, each of the team had their positions. He detailed that the visibility wasn't great, and that it was overall a difficult job to carry out. He said that on day 5 he got into position and started working, but after about 20 minutes he kept on feeling something heavy touch his back. At first he
Bro, that make that. Oh man, if that don't give you the chills right there. Could you imagine trying to perform this job, do your job, and every so often you feel. And anytime I get those type of feelings, I trust my gut. It's time to go, man. It's time to go. What good is making the money if you ain't around to spend it, you know what I mean, and enjoy it? No, it's time to go, bro. You get that feeling, you act on it.
About 20 minutes, he kept on feeling something heavy touch his back. At first, he thought it might have been another team member, but when he turned around, there was no one there.
Oh, no.
His second thought was that it could have been a school of fish, going on to say that these underwater structures are somewhat of an attractor for smaller species, as they act like protection for them. When it happened, he said that a few minutes later, he was able to get a glimpse of this thing, and said the only way he could describe it was that it looked like some type of squid.
Oh.
He detailed that the organism put him into a sort of trance, saying that it did this by changing shape and color. He said that he had never experienced anything like it before, as he was still awake and knew what was going on.
It put him in a trance. A trance, bro. Are you kidding me? Keeping you occupied while, I think about like dinosaurs. Remember how they always talked about in some of the movies, the Velociraptor? You see this one, but you don't see the other two coming? That's what I'm thinking about in this situation right here. Like a trance for what? Either for you to get close to it and then it grab you and then at that point you're done, or something to come up from the sides that you didn't even see coming. It put him in a trance. That's crazy.
Said that he had never experienced anything like it before, as he was still awake and knew what was going on, but noted that he couldn't move. The reason that he said the organism was like a squid is because this is the only animal that he was aware of that had this type of ability, although he did say that he'd never encountered anything that looked like this creature. He said that he's never got over the fact that this creature was able to paralyze him without touching him. When I asked whether anyone else had seen all of this unfold,
that's a problem.
He told me that he was behind a large piece of equipment that obstructed his view, saying that all of the other members of the diving team were working on areas of the rig that were out of view, so although a team was within the area, none of them could see each other. He also said that these structures are massive, and even if they were working close together, the visibility in the region that they were in wasn't great. He continued saying that once the creature approached him, getting within around 10 feet, he said that it slowed down its coloration and stopped moving its body into different shapes, and once it did this, he then started to regain movements in his arms and legs. After the creatures swam off, he said that he had an incredibly painful headache and felt very dizzy. On the day of the encounter, he said that everything was fine before he entered the water. He didn't complain of having a headache, he didn't have a drink or anything in his system that would compromise him, so he was sure about what he had witnessed. When I questioned him on the size of the creature, he said that it was difficult to say, and the only thing he remembered about its size was that it was much bigger than him. He was certain that it wasn't a common squid species that he had encountered before, saying that normally the areas where he worked had much smaller squids, and that they couldn't do what this creature did. He said he tried to research what this thing was.
Maybe those were the babies, and what he encountered was the mama.
But every time he did, he came up empty, being unable to find a squid or creature that matched what he encountered. At the time, he said that I was the only person he told the story to, and that he didn't want anyone knowing about it. He did admit that he was scared to go back into the water, as this organism possessed the ability to control him, and it's something that really surprised him, as he'd never had this happen to him before.
Can you blame him?
Even though the encounter only lasted a minute or so, it was something that he didn't want to relive. He said that the headache lasted about a week, and it was easily the worst headache he'd ever had before. After this experience, he said that he never encountered the creature again, and that as of today, he has no idea what it was that he encountered. End quote. Interestingly, this diver isn't the first person to come forward and say that they encountered a mysterious creature while diving in the ocean, and it's led some to suggest that there's undiscovered species that people are encountering that are not yet known to science. Oddly enough, just recently, scientists came forward and proposed that octopuses might be aliens, or originated from space. The idea that octopuses might have originated from space is based on the fact that they are highly intelligent and exhibit some unique traits that are not seen in other animals on Earth.
That would explain a lot. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That them putting that out there like that definitely makes me sit back and look at an octopus and say, I can see it. I can definitely see that being from space.
For example, octopuses have a complex nervous system and can change color and texture to camouflage themselves in their environment. Additionally, their genetic makeup is quite different from other animals, leading some to speculate that they might have evolved independently from a different ancestor than other animals on Earth. Another thing to keep in mind is that animals belonging to the group Cephalopoda can grow to extreme sizes. The largest squid species in the world is the giant squid, which is also one of the largest invertebrates in the world. Giant squids can grow up to 43 feet, or 13 meters in length, and can weigh up to 600 pounds, or 272 kilograms. Giant squids have a mantle body that can reach lengths of up to 8 feet or 2.5 meters, and 2 long feeding tentacles that can reach lengths of up to 30 feet. They have 8 arms that are lined with suction cups and are used for grabbing prey and bringing it to their beak-like mouth.
You know, the more and more I sit here and I just stew in it, I'm really seeing how somebody could say that. And I'm seeing it in my mind of like, I've already created like a whole scenario in my mind of how they got here. They crashed, they showed up here, they crashed into the water, the spaceship opened up, they delve into the water, and that's where they've been ever since. It could be a possibility. That's what I'm just saying.
Despite their large size, not much is known about the behavior and biology of giant squids, as they live in the deep ocean and are rarely encountered by humans. The first footage of a live giant squid in its natural habitat was captured in 2012 by a team of Japanese scientists using a specialized underwater camera. Since then, several more sightings and captures of giant squids have been reported, providing new insights into their biology and behavior. Scientists are constantly discovering new species in the world's oceans, but it is difficult to estimate the exact number of new oceanic species that are discovered each year. This is partly due to the fact that many parts of the ocean remain unexplored, and new species are often discovered during research expeditions and surveys.
True.
According to the World Register of Marine Species, which maintains a database of all known marine species, an average of around 2,000 new marine species are described and named each year. However, this number can vary widely from year to year, depending on factors such as the level of research funding and the number of expeditions and surveys that are conducted. It is important to note that the discovery of new species is just the first step in understanding the biodiversity of the oceans, and much more research is needed to understand the ecological roles of these species and how they interact with each other and with their environment. Additionally, many oceanic species remain undiscovered or poorly studied, highlighting the need for continued research and conservation efforts to protect these vital ecosystems. Scientists have come forward and said that the oceans are difficult to map for a number of reasons. The average depth of the ocean is around 3,800 meters, or 12,000 feet, and the deepest parts of the ocean can reach depths of over 11,000 meters, or 36,000 feet. This makes it difficult to explore and map the ocean floor using traditional methods, as the water pressure at such depths is immense and can damage or destroy equipment. The ocean covers over 70% of the Earth's surface, making it a vast and complex environment to study. The vast majority of the ocean floor remains unexplored, and only a small fraction of it has been mapped in detail. Mapping the ocean floor requires specialized equipment, such as sonar systems and underwater vehicles, which are expensive and often difficult to operate in the harsh underwater environment. The ocean is subject to constantly changing weather and environmental conditions, which can make it difficult to conduct research and obtain accurate measurements. Unlike land, which can be easily accessed and studied by researchers, much of the ocean is inaccessible to humans due to its depth and the challenges involved in conducting research in underwater environments. Despite these challenges, advances in technology and oceanographic research have enabled scientists to make significant progress in mapping and understanding the ocean. For example, the use of satellite technology and underwater vehicles has enabled scientists to explore previously inaccessible parts of the ocean and obtain detailed maps and data on the ocean floor. However, Much more research and exploration is needed to fully understand the complexity and importance of the ocean and its role in supporting life on our planet. The total number of species in the ocean is difficult to estimate accurately, as the vast majority of the ocean remains unexplored and many species are still waiting to be discovered. However, scientists have identified and named approximately 250,000 marine species to date, and it is estimated that there could be anywhere from 500,000 to 10 million more species that have yet to be discovered. Marine species come in a wide variety of forms and sizes, from tiny plankton to massive whales, and live in a range of habitats, from shallow coral reefs to the deep ocean trenches. The ocean is also home to a high level of biodiversity, with many species exhibiting unique adaptations to their environment, such as bioluminescence, camouflage, and extreme temperature tolerance. The oceans are critically important for our planet in many ways. The oceans play a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate. They absorb and store large amounts of carbon dioxide and help to regulate the Earth's temperature and weather patterns. The oceans are home to a vast array of plant and animal species, many of which are still undiscovered. This biodiversity is important for maintaining the health and stability of the ocean ecosystem and provides important benefits to human populations, such as food, medicines, and recreation. The oceans provide a significant source of food for millions of people around the world, particularly in developing countries where fish and seafood are a major source of protein. The ocean also supports many livelihoods, such as fishing, shipping, and tourism. Phytoplankton, tiny plants that live in the ocean, are responsible for producing over half of the oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere.
Wow.
They are also a critical part of the ocean food web, providing food for many other marine species. Despite their importance, the oceans are facing numerous threats. It is important that we take action to protect and conserve the health and biodiversity of the oceans for the benefit of both current and future generations. So, what do you make of the mysterious squid story, and what do you think the diver encountered? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this.
So do y'all believe him or not? I believe him. I believe him. And I don't blame him if he never wants to get back in the water again. And I don't understand you sending me in the water with a team, but none of these team members can be used for lookout. They're all doing separate jobs. No, bro, I need a team with me that's dedicated to me to watch out for my surroundings while I'm down here focused on this work. No, they needed way more people down there than just him and the other ones that were doing it. Each person that was doing a job needed a lookout team. Period. Now, what they could have done about the squid when it rolled up, probably nothing they could have done either, but at least they would have let them know and they could have all tried to escape. This just going down there and being by yourself and then something rolling up on you that could put you in a trance? No, they don't play fair down there under the water. And for that reason, I'm out. It's like Shark Tank. I'm out. Listen, man, y'all get at me in the comment section and let me know what y'all thought of this video about this diver. And stick around and stay tuned. Till the next one, I'm gone. Peace.